Jimmy to Jey, face to face, yeet to face. Ringside Renaissance. Let's get ready to rumble! Yo, Jesse, hit the music. Ring the bell.
You are now listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Ringside Renaissance. We're here with a RRW Weekly Review for WWE. And I'm here with Pretty Deadly Jesse. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm Andrew Kombat Jones. Yeah. WWE, baby. We're here. We're talking Raw. We're talking NXT. How you doing? What's up?
We're good. And also, we got some response from people around the IWC, and we have answered your call. We will answer some questions after this, and we try not to read the questions, so this is going to be fun. Nobody, I want to get some, like, fun questions, like, if you're at a friend's house and take a dump and there's no toilet paper, what do you do? Like, that'd be a fun one to answer.
Oh, yeah, what, you know.
What would
you plug
do?
the toilet. What do you do? Yeah.
You use a hand towel and leave right away.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Let us know in the comments. Yeah.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you do. But yeah, you said it best. We're here for WWE. It was a short week for us in WWE. We're just going to review Raw today. Another 2-hour episode of Raw. I'm starting to like the 2 hours. I don't know. I think it flows. I think 3 hours sometimes drags out a little too long. I think the 2 hours is actually pretty nice. I can get done my day and watch some Raw and not feel bored or tired by the end of it.
Yeah, they definitely milk everything out of it when they do the 3 hours. So 2 hours is a little more compressed, like you said, and a little better. And then, like, I don't know if this last week would have been 3 hours. It might have been a little rough too at times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
and this episode of Raw was pre-taped, so they taped 2 episodes.
Oh,
not this. They didn't. So not this past Monday. The Monday before, they taped 2 episodes back to back, and this was a pre-tape. Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought it was live. God,
no,
they tricked me.
The way they did it was really well done because they married stuff that happened the previous Friday into the episode, but it all fell into place. Like, it wasn't like choppy.
Okay.
Like, they had Lash Legend and the other one that you like from NXT.
Oh yeah, Jakara Jackson. Oh, so they taped Raw after SmackDown on the same night.
No, both Raws on the same night. That's what I'm saying. But like, it's still everything still fell into place. Like, they showed Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend in the crowd, and they were like, "Oh, they just lost this past Friday on SmackDown." But at the time of the recording, they hadn't lost yet. So the way they married everything together in the for the production of it, I thought was really well done. Like, when you're watching it, you don't think it's a pre-tape. And shout out to everybody in the IWC that kept from spoilers, because you see spoilers all the time of what's going to happen on Raw.
Right.
And we really didn't get that. So
damn, they got me. I guess I'm not a smart wrestling fan. Jeez. I got to get my shit together.
Come on, man. I thought you dove into the depths in the underbelly of the IWC to find out all the hottest scoops and take in pro wrestling.
Well, I mean, I let you get all the facts right, and the lore and the legend and the history. I just delve into the deepest, darkest trenches of gossip.
In DMs.
But that's not always very deep. That's not always very, very deep, Sometimes it's there's not a lot out there. Yeah, it's
sometimes there's only so deep you can go, and you have to kind of just be okay with that, you know. I mean,
well,
God only endowed you with so much that you can do.
To quote Cameron, I can't say it all. I always hit the bottom. No.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. Look it up. You'll know what I'm talking about.
To quote Cameron, look it up. All the quotes he has.
Always hit the bottom.
But Raw felt pretty good. I'm enjoying the stories, the storylines they're building up. Everybody feels like they're kind of in something. It doesn't feel like, even the storylines I'm not really particularly invested in, it still feels like there's something there and something brewing. It's not just, just put some dream matches out there and people will like it. And so I'm invested in the stories. That's what I'm here.
The stories. Yeah. And like talk about the stories, there has been a lot of stories that were ongoing with the 3 hours that now that people have disappeared and there's nothing. We haven't seen much or heard much from a few different groups and people, really. Or very little from them, at least, you know?
Yeah, last week's Raw seemed very like clunky, like everything was kind of overlapping and rushed, but this one felt like it just kind of took its time. Maybe because it was a pre-tape, they were able to make it a little bit more smoother. But
I will say NXT has been pretty great too.
Yeah,
in my opinion, since the CW and everything, and a little before, they're putting a lot into it. Yeah,
and shout out to the NXT universe of people that watch our show too. We will start covering it more. We get a lot of requests about like, oh, do you watch this? Do you watch that? Do you watch this? We follow pretty much all major wrestling. I mean, there's a lot of like indie shows and stuff. How are you going to cover it all? But
no, I see it all. I know. I know everything.
Well, you have to. I mean,
I see everything that's happening everywhere at every moment of every day, every promotion, every wrestler.
These guys had a classic 5-star match in a sweaty high school gym in Salt Lake City, Utah, back in 2017. How do you not know about that match? You must not be a wrestling fan. Okay. But what we did watch was Monday Night Raw, and it started out with Rhea Ripley coming out to the ring, and this is one of them ones I'm okay with what they're doing with it because they're adding some more pieces into the mix, but just Rhea and Liv, I'm kind of past the point with it. Shit, this is my brutality. I stomped. You couldn't see it in the camera.
I got you. Yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah, Liv and Rhea right now, it's kind of gone too far.
I have a issue with, and it's not just Rhea Ripley, but people that do entrances and do the same exact thing every time they come out to the ring.
I mean, isn't that most of like 90%?
It's a lot of them. It just bothers me. Like,
I mean, but you know what pisses me off more sometimes is when they like don't have anything to do, or they don't do anything, or they like do it at the wrong time, or they hit the wrong spot during the music, and then like the explosions just go off, and it's like you timed it wrong. It's like I feel like it's better to have something than not have something when you come out that at least it's like your signature thing that people know you by, that they can do. You know, it sells more in the end, right?
Yeah, but to me, it loses some of its. Okay, so Rhea is still pissed off at Liv, but she's going to come out and hit her fucking entrance and smile
I gotcha.
and everything
instead
else.
Instead of just run straight out. Yeah.
Right. Instead of walking out, showing some like some fire and some fucking angst in it and like, hey, I ain't got time to pose right now. I want to fucking get to business at hand, you know?
Gotcha. You mean like when there's like a heated situation going, you don't mean like just coming out for a match and doing the normal entrance. You're talking about like a run-in or something like that, or something that's more has to happen quicker. Yeah, I understand. I get it. I agree. Yeah.
Different things going on, you know? Like,
yeah.
Just switch it up a little bit, I guess, so it's not so cookie cutter, you know. But Rhea came out to the ring. She said she's not done with Liv Morgan and now Raquel Rodriguez, and there's more of this story to go. And
Tiffany Stratton interrupts her.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I wish they would give Tiffany Stratton like a mouthpiece.
Yeah, I thought she did pretty good this time. I thought she was throwing a little bit of shots, and it was a little. I was like, huh? She's like, you're gonna have a real big problem with Nia Jax soon. Like, what are you talking about? Big problem, Tiff? Like,
we know you enjoyed that one.
Yeah. Good line. Yeah.
I don't really know how to describe it. If you can, I like her in the ring. I like Tiffany Stratton in the ring. I think she's very talented in the ring, but like,
right.
There's to me a disconnect with, and I guess that's just her character, so I can't really put that down too much. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out my ass, but like,
well, no,
I don't know.
I do think there is like a disconnect sometimes with the promos and like the improvisation of some of these people, especially when they don't come from like a wrestling background or from watching it all their lives.
Yeah,
I think it happens in the ring, and I think it happens also with the crowd, and like there's only so much you can learn in promo school compared to what you would learn to coming up through the indies or coming up for a long time and doing these promos and you know, feeding off of the crowd and the energy of the crowd and the other person in the ring too.
Right, and it's like she's supposed to be like this. Like, I mean, she's proven herself in the ring, but like then she's like this like prissy little. I don't know. There's maybe I want to see maybe a little bit more fire from her, a little bit more like you said that she did in this promo again with Rhea and stuff. So, it's promising. When she cashes in, it's going to be huge. The crowd is behind her. So, and then we get Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez coming out to the ring, and
Raquel, still looking stiff. Like,
no, Raquel looks amazing. It's Liv.
No,
Liv sucks.
No, Liv did all right. She's doing good. She's doing what she got to do. Fast forward to the end. I mean, God, close. Yeah, she's close call there. I mean, close call, but
she owns her character of what she's doing and like kind of like what her role as a heel right now. I just don't like it. Like it's nothing. Yeah. Probably it's nothing that she's doing wrong, except for she's just god awful in the ring. But her character itself, I guess there's nothing wrong with it. She's nailing what she's supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
I just can't stand it.
Yeah, for the first time for her playing the heel, you know, she's pissing people off and doing the Bonnie and Clyde thing with Dom, but I think it's kind of across the board for the majority of people. From what I've seen, they're tired of it, and I don't think they're just tired of her. I think they're tired of the whole thing with Dom and with Rhea and just that whole angle. Honestly,
yeah, and you have those super fans that are like still so bought into the soap opera and stuff. But would it be Bonnie and Claudio because of his,
I don't know,
background?
Riptide when I walking through the door, oblivion when I'm all up on the floor. I got to listen at the same time.
Fucking Yandi, man.
Yeah, shout out.
He probably never watches our show again, but man, he's getting a lot of love over here. So they have a skirmish, if you will, in the ring, and Rhea's backstage with Adam Pearce and says she wants her hands on Liv and Raquel, and he says, you know, you can't do it without you need a partner. Everybody needs a partner. And
hey, don't forget Liv beat down Tiffy time with that briefcase too. She gave it a business with that briefcase.
Drop a bomb on that. So then Tiffy comes in and said she's upset. She's been besmirched. And so then we have Rhea and Tiffy as a tag team, which I was interested in because Rhea's that goth, dark.
I gotta work with her. She's having a brat fit backstage. Yeah.
It is what it is.
We knew what was going to happen. We knew what was, exactly. Mean Girls. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, I'm going to die on my hill saying that this whole draft thing is a bunch of stupid bullshit because Now we got people all over coming from different brands over to this brand and that brand, and who really cares about the draft at this point?
And I don't know why Tiff and Liv don't link up, honestly, because they're like the closest personality-wise between all these people, right? Because Rhea kind of hates like the whole pretty girl, mean girl vibe with Liv, and they've had that thing. And who's the closest to that with that? Tiffany Stratton, right?
Maybe she's afraid that Tiffany's going to take Dirty Dom away from her.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Could you imagine Rhea and Nia linking up versus Liv and Tiffany Stratton?
Oh, my God. That'd be a squash. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Yep.
Yeah, so they said that there'll be a tag team match at the end of the night, which we got 2 women's tag team matches on one Raw, which was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And both seemed to deliver what they were supposed to, because next we had the women's tag team title match, Jade and Bianca, the champions, against Damage Control. Yeah, it was an okay match.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah.
It's hard when you have Bianca and Jade in there as like big and as athletic and strong and powerful as they are,
right,
to make any sort of suspending disbelief that even though Kairi Sane and Io Sky are great wrestlers, like in their own rights, like
right. Yeah, Kairi Sane is like an ant to a molehill, you know, like.
Is that the saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Something like that, right?
Something to that effect. Yeah, you understand what we're saying.
Chief without a tribe without a chief, ant and a molehill.
A mountain to a molehill.
Oh, that's it. That's right. That's it.
I'm bringing all the hot takes. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, Io Sky and Kairi Sane are really good wrestlers, but their size disparity here just kind of took me out of it. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to beat Jade and Bianca until there's some fuckery about, like maybe one of them turning or a third coming in to interrupt and causing the finish.
Yeah.
But Jade continues to impress me in the ring, though. She's kind of figuring out her spots and holding her own. Before it was like a lot of double teams and a lot of keep Jade on the outside, get the hot tag, do the comeback, finish, done. But now she's kind of being tagged in, having her own little one-on-one spots during these tag matches.
Yeah, she's playing to her strengths more, and she is selling somewhat better also, too. Like she.
Oh, yeah.
And they're figuring out like kind of their spots on how they can make it believable that they're kind of taking her out, or Bianca.
Yeah.
And then to rally from that. Yeah.
She's selling and registering really well too. When someone lands a shot in, she registers it really well. And
yep.
You know, I think she's greatly improving. I can see this riding out till probably WrestleMania and having Bianca against Jade, and I'd be okay with that. I think that's the end game for this, but and for Bianca to put over Jade, but for what they're doing, I mean, they're a solid they're bringing more eyes to the women's division and the women's tag division, and these two are 2 superstars that can do that, and they're making me actually give a fuck about the women's tag team titles.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like when I see Jade and Bianca come out every time I pop, like I'm cool with it.
Yeah, and even with the Unholy Union before them too, I'm more invested in the women's tag titles than I am in either one of the men's tag titles right now.
Yeah, that's true, for sure.
So
they
seem to be doing their job.
And Jakara, like you said earlier, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend were in the crowd, and they kind of interfered a little bit and kind of getting in both people's faces, but ultimately they messed with Damage Control the most, and that led to the KOD.
Done.
That was it.
Still your women's world tag team champions, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. And shout out to everybody thinking that Samantha Irvin was going to leave with Ricochet, because she's still there.
She's still there, yeah.
And then after this, we had the Judgment Day backstage. This is where the Judgment Day met Raquel Rodriguez and
Mm-hmm.
I felt a little bit maybe some dissension in the ranks here.
Yeah, it was a little awkward too. It was a little like, oh hey, like, is there going to be a splintering in the group? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it really it when Finn Balor took over as, well, not the leader, I guess, because everybody's equals. That's what his whole thing was everybody's equal. But it seems like Dom and Liv are kind of taking their own little path off from the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then where does that leave Finn and JD too? Because they're still the champions, but like, who do they have to compete against on Raw, really?
Yeah. Oh, they announced that there's going to be a tag team tournament for the number one contenders for the tag team titles. And because Finn also said to Adam Pearce that he wanted his rematch with Damian Priest. And that's when Adam Pearce said that he's got to focus on the tag team and not the solo run or the solo match with Damian Priest. But
right
before that, we had Braun Breaker giving a backstage promo saying why he attacked Jey Uso, and Braun Breaker's a fucking superstar.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Everything about it. It's
yeah.
His delivery, his inflection, his intensity, his visuals. He's like, I'm going to tell you why I did it. I did it for The Rock. I did it for Stone Cold.
He was talking about like his family, and he doesn't have to rely on his name from his family, and that Jey does, and Jey always needs somebody there and needs some type of crutch or needs to rely back on his name, and how he's going to do it without all that. And he's going to get the IC title back. It was a good promo. It made sense talking, the why and the how and all that. It broke it all down with what he was saying. It didn't leave anything to question.
And they're planting some seeds of like foreshadowing here with Jey Uso down the line. But then they announced that Braun Breaker and Jey Uso were going to fight next week again for the tag or for the Intercontinental title.
Yep.
But I don't see Braun Breaker losing twice though.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's probably a way to get Jey away from the title if that's what they're doing.
Yeah, but then he would prove Braun Breaker right by going back to the bloodline stuff and the family stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. It's very interesting what they're doing with it. All I know is Braun Breaker needs to be, he doesn't need to be pushed to the moon. He's just getting over doing what he's doing.
Right.
Come on. There's a lot of characters and there's a lot of gimmicks and there's a lot of, story driven people in WWE, but he's just like a total package.
Yeah.
He's believable.
Oh yeah. He's the total package, baby. Yeah.
Lex Luger shout out.
Jey doesn't need the belt as much right now with all that stuff. Like people would say, right? And Braun can definitely use it because it puts him more in the spotlight and it gives him a reason to be out there and face whoever, whenever, and just crush him. Yeah.
Yeah. And like you were saying before, if Jay's going to go over to SmackDown and do the bloodline thing for a little bit, you don't want to tie up the IC title and take it away from Raw.
Right.
You kind of want to let it have its own place. I just think they're in fear or in danger of giving Braun Breaker too many losses.
Mm-hmm.
If they start giving him too many losses right now, I think he loses some of his credibility that he had coming up from NXT. And as he continues to show that intensity, if he can't get it done in the ring, then it might take away a little bit from it. But it'd be interesting to see.
Something with the New Day or Xavier Woods could play into it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that.
I don't see Jimmy having anything to do with it because then it would kind of make Jey even more mad at Jimmy for kind of interfering in something, even if it was to help him. I don't think that would like prove his loyalty back. I don't think that's something like a babyface would want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I see Braun Breaker winning it and then beating down Jey after, and Jimmy doing a save. But
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
But then we had the first round of this tag team tournament that just got said it was going to happen, and we got the return of the War Raiders.
Yeah. And is this what that little preview thing we've been showing with the fire? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Because their screen image kind of had the fire and
and it had like the Nordic or the Viking thing people were talking about online. Yeah. I don't know. I don't see the reason for the whole preview with this and all that. Like, I was at the original Raw in Montreal like 5 years ago on the draft when they showed up from NXT, and people were like freaking out about it. Like, and I'm just like they're good. I get it. They're hard hitting and they sell good in the ring and stuff. It's just,
yeah,
like Game of Thrones and WWE. Like, I don't need it. Like,
yeah, but they stripped down a lot of that Viking gimmick, and they were more just kind of badasses here. So, and Wade Barrett made sure to tell us that about 30 times. But yeah, so they faced the Alpha Academy. They had something with Otis, and they really fucking lost it here. Yeah, I mean, it was a good match. I think this is just to put over the War Raiders coming back and being powerful and back as a unit, and they got the win and move on in this. How many rounds of this tournament are there? Like, they don't.
Yeah, they didn't really give us a bracket and tell us who was in it exactly, and yeah,
you have to dumb it down for some of us here.
And American Made cuts their little promo about, make Raw great again. Pretty much, like, yeah.
You gotta love it. Like,
Chad
Gable's really good.
Yeah, no, they're all good. Like, the other two guys are like or one of them's kind of funny, like when he's not supposed to be, like he can't help it. And then Ivy Niles is fucking great too. And yeah, I agree though. Chad Gable he's always great on the mic. He always knows what to say, how to piss people off, how to get under your skin in the ring. I mean, you can't take anything from him at all. So yeah.
No, Chad Gable's good. I mean, he's kind of caught in limbo. He's been caught in limbo since the Shorty G days, but
and he's always going to be there. I don't ever see him like really going to the top like that, but he knows how to play his job, and he uses his time wisely too.
Yeah, and that's I'm sure everybody gets into the wrestling business thinking they're going to be the WWE champion one day, but like, you have to realize your place and your role in the whole, like, your cog in the machine. And I think, like you said, he understands his role of what he's supposed to do and why he's doing it. And that's probably why he's going to have a really long career in WWE doing what he's doing.
Yeah, he plays his position, and he understood the assignment.
Yeah.
As the kids would say.
Drop a bomb on that.
Yeah.
You can't quote Cameron, but you can quote the kids.
Well, to quote Cameron, he hit the bottom of the something hole.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
You had a second chance to redeem yourself there. Yeah, we had Cody Rhodes come out to the ring then, and Gunther came out to meet him. They're just kind of selling this crown jewel match.
Right.
With over 50 carats of diamonds in that championship. It's the most beautiful, prestigious championship in professional sports.
Yep. And Gunther kind of does his thing to put Cody over, but diminish him at the same time, and tell him, build him up, but then tell him that he's got that one thing that he's got to be. You got to be everybody's darling. You got to be you want to be everybody's darling. And the people have realized that with having so many friends, you're really nobody's friend. or whatever the hell it was. Yeah, something like that.
Was good. You're good, man. You're batting 1,000 today with those. Yeah. A lot of mutual respect there. I think this was a match that people have been wanting to see for quite a while. I think since Cody won the Undisputed Championship, I thought this was going to be the feud.
Yeah. And Gunther threw some shots because he called Cody and the Universal title the secondary title, the secondary championship. Just kind of throwing it back in everybody's face and kind of making a little joke about it because everybody obviously considers the Raw World Championship the secondary title, but he kind of flipped it around and played into it. So props there. I thought that was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good comeback too from Cody. No, bruh. I beat the tribal chief. I beat the greatest of all time. I slayed beasts. Yeah.
Brock Lesnar reference there.
Two Brock Lesnar references on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So I might be eating my words with all these people saying that Brock's coming back. Because if you're going to mention him twice like that, I don't know.
I just don't know what his role would be coming back.
Gunther? Yeah. I mean, there's only so much I want to see Brock Lesnar really come back and do, and Gunther would be one of those things.
Yeah. Pissing on people's not one thing I'd like to see.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I don't understand how they would just bring him back without anything being cleared up, unless it's been cleared up legally behind the scenes, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't bring him back if there was any damning evidence or things like that. And I'm going to keep that whole part of it out, you know, because I'm sure a lot of people have a past that if we found out about, we wouldn't be too fond of them. But
no.
Sorry to all the people I've wronged over the years. I'm not. Then we had Kofi Kingston.
I said I'm not.
Yeah.
You deserve every fucking thing. Yeah.
Okay, we got a heel Kombat Jones today.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. Then we had Kofi Kingston taking on Braun Breaker.
Yep.
Get some retribution for the way that Braun Breaker treated him and his quarterback, Xavier Woods, last week.
Ooh, yeah.
A quick win. Braun Breaker needed it. If anybody out there thought Kofi Kingston was going to win this, you are sadly mistaken.
Oh, yeah. Split him in half. Speared him. Yep. Of course, Xavier Woods comes out at the wrong time. Waits till the end. Once the beatdown has commenced. Wait.
And then we get a save by Jey Uso. Which set up the IC rematch for next week.
Uso!
I like how he has to come out and do his little thing. It's like the Jeff Hardy. Like, if you're really coming out to save somebody, you got to take the time to do your thing.
Yeah. He got swag. He's got swag. Yeah.
And then when we saw Jey Uso backstage, which was one of the biggest talking points of Raw for me anyway, was he went to his locker room and opened the door, and who was waiting for him? Not Bo Dallas. Jimmy Uso.
His brother.
Now, this is one thing I'm thinking. I don't think they showed this when they pre-taped Raw last week. Because when the door opened and Jimmy was sitting there, it didn't sound like a big pop from the crowd. Like, you would think it would have been a monster.
Oh, okay.
And also, going back to when they pre-taped this last week, Jimmy hadn't said to Roman that we need to get somebody back. So I think this was kind of saved and then put on TV.
Holy shit.
Bringing the facts to you.
Holy shit. Yeah, this is blowing my mind right now. That the whole thing was like everything with it. Yeah, and then with the bloodline and bringing them in. And yeah, wow.
They pieced it together really well.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, because they fooled me. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, so there was two different encounters with them. There was one before I think Jimmy did the save, or Jay did the save, the one after.
Yes, I think he's seen him like come out of the locker room and he just took off. He didn't really say anything to him the first time.
And then the second time Jey said, "I told you no."
Yeah. And that's the first time, honestly, like we've seen that look in Jay's eyes or like on his face in a long time, since like the Bloodline days of, or like with Sammy and like calling his bluff and thinking that he was a traitor, of like that pissed off, angry face of Jey Uso. We haven't seen that. We've seen like the happy-go-lucky Jey since then, since he's been on Raw and with all that. Yeah, like you could see the look in his eyes, like he went psychopath for a second. Like, I don't want to see you. Like, we got fucking unfinished business.
Oof.
Yeah.
Because the last time we saw Jimmy and Jey together was WrestleMania, right? It was the WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah. So since yep.
Yeah, I like this. I liked how there was little interaction. I liked how they didn't just hug it out. I think when they finally do reunite, it needs to be in front of the crowd. It doesn't need to be backstage.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Once that happens, and if they do it right, they'll have people crying in the audience for sure. If they can, and maybe they can even, shed a little tears too on stage.
Yeah. What if they do it in Saudi Arabia?
Cry me a river. I don't know. I don't think they should do it in Saudi Arabia, honestly. I don't think that should be the time to do it. I think they should save it. Yeah.
What do Justin Timberlake and Jimmy Uso have in common?
Jack Perry.
They both caught DUIs. Boom.
Oh, snap. God damn it. Don't drink and drive, kids. Yeah.
That's right. When you can get high and fly.
Especially when you're that rich and you can afford a Uber or a private fucking jet or something. I don't know.
Private person to drive you home.
Exactly.
Valet.
Yeah.
And this was the end of Raw. Here was the tag team match between Rhea and Tiffany against Liv and Raquel. Like I said, this went very quickly.
Yeah.
A lot of moving parts here with this one. I like the dissension between Liv and Rhea during this. They're not friends. They're just kind of got a common enemy. I'd like to see Liv be more scared when Rhea comes around and stuff. She seems to try to square up with Liv more.
Yeah.
See, that's very heelish of her, especially with the size disparity. But
right, yeah, and Liv kind of like is trying to act like she's not scared, but she is. And then Raquel's gonna come in for the save now. And again, with like the match and Raquel doing her finisher to them, like botched her finisher too at the end with it to Tiffy. She had gave it her finisher to at the end. Was it Tiff? Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I believe so. Because then we had Nia Jax come out.
Yeah.
And cause the disqualification. There was a whole lot there because.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, and that's what they're doing leading up to the Crown Jewel show. And it's the same with like the Cody Rhodes and Gunther thing, because there's so much moving parts there with Cody Rhodes and like Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, Bloodline. It's kind of all not concluded. It's it's who knows. And it's the same with the Judgment Day and Liv and Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton and the Money in the Bank and all of that. Yeah.
There's some stories like overstay their welcome. Like the Bloodline story is still compelling, like Jey and Jimmy reuniting and tying that all up and everything else. But with this Liv and Rhea feud, it's almost like I feel like it's kind of just past its expiration
fizzled
date.
Out. Yeah, because where are they going to go with it, and what are they going to do with it? What, and ultimately, like, who are you putting over? Like,
what do you do? What are you going to do with Damian Priest? Like, Damian Priest hasn't done anything since he beat Finn. Like,
yeah, we didn't even see Damian.
It's
I
feel like there's a lot of stuff that kind of needs to be wrapped up and moved on from, that they're kind of just lingering, and
so they can all move forward and all go to where they need to go to next. Also,
yeah, agreed. And like, and then we had the sit down with Bronson Reed,
yep,
and Adam Pearce. because him and Seth want to have the match. And then we had Adam Pearce backstage with Seth, and they're both begging for the match. And
yep. Bronson saying, he's going to behave, and Scrap Daddy's like, I need you to do this for me, Braun. I want to make this happen. Yeah.
I want to make this match happen, but I need to know.
Yeah.
But like, if you want the match to happen, then you know that there's going to be casualties in the match. Like,
just book the fucking match, Scrap.
Right.
We know it's coming at Crown Jewel.
You think so?
Or will it be Raw? Nah, we might get a Raw one. I don't know.
Yeah, probably Crown Jewel, maybe. Because they need to have 5 matches. We only have 2 set.
Yeah.
And it's a few weeks away. It's only 3 weeks away.
And Seth is kind of still alluding to, when he talked to Scrap Daddy, that he is still somewhat injured, right? Or playing into that, and that, Scrap Daddy, that we get injuries and we have to fight through them, and we all do this, and this is just what we signed up for, and what we do as wrestlers is compete through the injuries, and blah 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 blah.
And every time I see Seth on screen, I'm like, man, I just think to myself, save us, Becky. Like, everybody cries about Becky Lynch, like, oh, Becky Hogan or whatever the fuck they call her, but like, man, that would add some juice to the women's division right now. And Lyra Valkyria came up and had some fire, and she was in the finals of the Queen of the Ring, and now it's like, just don't have a place for her.
There's a lot of people on the horizon too in NXT.
Oh yeah, for sure,
a lot
for sure.
So people need to step their game up, or else there's only so many spots now, and it may be a different locker room, and it might not be as competitive and cutthroat as it used to be, as far as like a business standpoint, but it's still going to be competitive in a way that is only 2 hours. So the best are going to make it on TV, and the best storylines, and the best performers, and the best talkers, and
and
get your shit together.
Like I was saying about Braun Breaker, you can kind of see the people that understand their role and realize they're just going to be like a role player. And then you see people like Braun Breaker, and it's like, he's destined to be a champion. He's destined to.
Right.
I think Braun Breaker is going to be the one that dethroned Gunther at some point. But yeah, we'll see. But like you said, there's so much talent, and it's like oversaturated right now, and which sucks, because a lot of our favorite wrestlers don't get on the show. But at the same time, there's a time and place for everything. So we kind of have to roll with the punches of. I just think the whole thing with Liv and Rhea is kind of just, okay, we've been doing this since right after WrestleMania.
Yep.
And nobody else besides Raquel Rodriguez has really come in and put some, disparity there. So
yeah, and the revenge tour at this point, like, it's been at the same location, the same stop, same venue,
yeah,
the whole time. You could at least feed different people to Liv at this point too. You could be having her get more wins, and like bring up people from NXT to challenge her. Bring up like Lyra or these other people, and give them a shot with her to at least put Liv over more, to look more dominant. So when it's time to drop the title to Rhea, it's more compelling, and it means more too.
Right.
Because we're just expecting, we know what's going to happen sooner or later. Rhea's going to take it, right? Unless they pull some type of weird audible with Tiffany Stratton or something like that. But I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you just know what the climax is, what's the point of switching positions?
Right.
But that was Monday Night Raw. Thank you. We brought you the review, and we asked for some fan questions. We got some more if you want to answer some here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's get some more. Yay.
Yeah. IWC, what's up?
What's going on, IWC? Yeah, we sent out a tweet.
Yeah, how do you say that?
A post.
Yeah.
We put out a post to say to ask us some questions, and we will answer them as best we can and shout you out in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the first one is from Caesar Yin Yan, and it's at Deacon St. John 35.
Okay.
That's a shout out to Days Gone, the great video game.
Okay.
Deacon ST John 35. It says, should Bronson Reed need more aggressive push, maybe a mid card title? In my opinion, I would love to see. I'm not a huge Bronson Reed fan, so I don't really know.
Yeah. I wasn't a huge Bronson Reed fan when they were starting to like really push him and do a lot of stuff. I haven't minded him a little more or less lately. I think him and Seth Rollins are probably going to be a good thing in the ring and have a good thing going. I'm kind of looking forward to see what he can do with Seth, because Seth is great working with most people, right? So he's definitely going to put over Bronson, even if Seth ends up winning. But with the mid card title, I don't know, because we already got Braun Breaker and we already got Jey Uso and all this, so I don't know how he would fit in there yet. He's kind of got to be in there a little longer, kind of earn some time and make more of a name for himself, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And he's had kind of a push. I mean, he took out Seth Rollins and took out R-Truth, and then had the big feud with Braun Strowman that was like taking up time on TV. So he is getting TV time, and now this feud with Seth Rollins, who's still one of the best in the business right now. So
yeah,
I do feel like he's getting a push.
I feel like if Vince was there, he'd be the IC champion right now.
No, he'd be the fucking world champion right now. So
yeah.
I think he's good in the role he's playing right now.
Yeah. There's only so much time. It's 2 hours.
Right. And as a mid-card monster, he's doing really well, and he's more probably reliable than like Braun Strowman, who seems like he's hurt all the time. And
yeah, I'd rather see him than Braun, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think he's greatly impressed me from when he first came on TV to now. But
yeah, he's getting better on the mic, and I think he has gotten better in the ring too. Yeah. I wasn't, like I said, sold on it completely at the beginning, but now more so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I think he will win some gold at some point, but I just don't know when that would be.
Right.
All right. Thanks for that.
Let us know what you think, what you want him to do, where you see him going. Yeah.
Yep. Let us know in the comments what everybody thinks Bronson Reed should be doing. The next is from Alexis at Gigi Dolan Toxic 4.
Hey,
I think you sent us a question last time too. Thank you. Oh, here we go. How would you conclude the Rhea and Liv feud?
Good question. Well, Rhea's got to win the title. That's for sure. I think it would probably make the most sense to break up Liv and Dom somehow. Maybe Raquel could creep in there or something. I think it's we're leading to Raquel versus Rhea too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Rhea's gonna have to go through Raquel first, maybe, and take her out, and then it'll be on the way to Liv. But like the story is stayed past as welcome, as they would say.
Yeah. I think they need to switch some stuff up, put something fresh into it.
Maybe Becky coming back would help.
Yeah. I think the ultimate goal would be Rhea winning the title back. Maybe leading to a Becky and Rhea rematch at Mania. But
yeah,
I mean, just as far as Rhea and Liv goes, I think it's kind of like I said, past the expiration date. Shit or get off the pot. If Rhea's going to win it, give it to her. If she's not, then just move on.
And we've had so many matches with them, and Liv's won every time now with that interference. So it's like by the time that Rhea's going to win now, it's like what kind of pop is going to be there? Like it is, because she's going to get the title back. But at the same time, like it's almost expected now.
Yeah. Do you see in any way that Rhea won't get the title back?
I think that's a way they could go about it too, and kind of save it, and maybe Because who would we think is going to win the Royal Rumble for women, right? Looking ahead, looking towards the Royal Rumble, who do we see winning that, and then going at who?
Boy, oh boy, because I really hope they don't drag Liv and Rhea out to WrestleMania, have Rhea win the Rumble, and then...
Oh, that's not happening. Liv won't be the champion by WrestleMania.
You don't think? No?
No.
I sure hope not.
She's gonna lose it she'll lose it at Royal Rumble or before.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, fortunately, we can only hope. I mean, I'm counting.
No,
the days.
she's had it so long. She's done what she's done with it. Like, she can move on, and she doesn't need the title to do these stories and like get passed around the Judgment Day and do her whatever story she has with Dom. Like, they can't just forget about it and make people forget about it. Like, they have to have some type of conclusion to that story with Dom, or something happen there, or to split off or something. So, yeah.
Thanks, Alexis. What do you think, or how would you conclude the feud? Next, we have a question from our old friend Howdy LFC.
Oh boy.
At Howdy LFC 396. Big fan of ours.
Yowie wowie.
It says, well, are y'all open to changing your opinions on the Wyatt Six if, in your opinion, it gets better storyline, character-wise, and overall? Hopefully, we should see them next week starting their feud with Miz and Final Testament, whether through video package or physical appearance.
Oh, well, why is it going to happen next week? Did they say anything this week on Raw?
Yeah, there was a QR code.
They had the QR code. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like he said, if in your opinion it gets better storyline, character-wise, and overall.
I'll be open to it if they accept R-Truth into their group, because he's been wronged by the Miz and the Final Testament too. And I have to shout out real quick too, because with the ending of the Miz and R-Truth match, R-Truth won, and then he dapped up the Miz, and then he goes outside and he daps up Karrion Kross, and Karrion Kross daps him up too, and then he turns his back and Karrion Kross like, get him. Yeah, it was hilarious. Truth doing his job. He's back to it. Yeah.
I'm sorry we missed that.
Yep.
If the storyline, characters, and overall it gets better, I don't think it can get better.
No, but if it does, I'm cool with it. Like we had said earlier, if you would go back episodes and episodes and episodes and episodes earlier, we talked about Bo Dallas. We talked about Bo Dallas like getting a push of his own in a better way, just as his character. Like, yes, it would be better storytelling. It would be better all the way around if it was for him paying tribute to Bray, like in more of a realistic way. Mm-hmm. But I don't like the group. I don't like all these different players in the group and what they're doing with it. Because at some point, were they all going to be in the Royal Rumble? You know, bro, like he's talking about, like they're all going to have their, like, where are they going with it? Like, as they're just all going to fall off and they're going to go nowhere and get sooner or later.
Yeah, and I think with the Bray Wyatt documentary that they put out and having Bo Dallas or Taylor or whatever being so prominent in there,
right?
He was put over in that documentary. Like you said, just have Bo Dallas come back as Bo Dallas, struggling with the loss of his brother and trying to find a place in the world.
Right.
And that by itself, you don't need all the fucking smoke and the fucking stupid Halloween masks and all that different shit. Just have him come out and just be himself. And that's the tribute to Bray Wyatt. And he could have been the top guy on Raw, if not the whole company at the time.
He'd really have the people behind him. And he could even have like moments like these backstage promos or like VHS tape things, or him with a therapist with kind of losing his mind with dealing with the death of his brother, you know, and he could snap into that character once in a while, even if he had to, you know, to a certain extent, and it would just make it more believable.
Yeah, the full thing, I think, was just I feel they missed the mark for me. Like having him come out and getting beat up by American Made and then
Yeah.
as Bo Dallas, and then putting the Uncle Howdy mask on,
and now they're not even there doing anything. It's just they've gone back to just the QR code. Like now, Raw is only 2 hours. Like, how much time are they going to have? Like, and who else? Okay, so they beat up the Final Testament and everything. What's after that? Who are they going to after that? What other group do they have to go to after that? They going to go to the Bloodline? Like, come on. They're not going for the top spot. Like, they're going to go for the Judgment Day? Okay, fine. They go for the Judgment Day. Which two are going to get the tag titles from them? Okay, they go after the Judgment Day. They beat the Judgment Day. Then who's left? There's nobody left.
Yeah. What I know who they're not going to come after is the Ringside Renaissance, because they've showed us time and time again that those bitches don't want any piece of us whatsoever.
Them bitches ain't got shit. They ain't got shit on us. Yeah. They don't know nothing. Yeah. Damn Wyatt sucks. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
What the?
God damn it.
Oh.
My God.
Guess who's back? The Wyatt Freak Six. Thank you, Howdy LFC, for saying our name. Raw will no longer acknowledge us.
What would Halloween season be without the return of the spirit Halloween? Wyatt sucks.
Us freaks, you must acknowledge us. But instead, when you put one finger up, you put one finger down, and you put it in your butt. Yeah.
For too long, Ringside Renaissance, you have besmirched us by not mentioning our names. We have left you alone because we had to go back to our side jobs at Whataburger. But we are here, and we are not going away.
WWE has left us with QR codes again. Levesque is fucking us. We must be at Crown Jewel because we have been all by ourselves. Yeah.
We have spent too long listening to dramatic emo music and crying in our showers butt naked, fondling each other's thighs, rib cages, shoulders, clavicles, and buttholes.
And there's no
Howdy
more.
FC.
Yeah.
Thank you for believing in us when no one else does.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
We should have been coming out of the ring in the Hell in a Cell. We should have been coming out at the end of Bad Blood to wreak havoc on Cody Rhodes and the Bloodline. We should have been part of it all.
Instead, they had us in the cave, by the river, in a canoe, rowing backwards.
The QR code. Next we leave. We'll leave you winding down a giant staircase in a deep tunnel throughout the depths of our mind, under the water, under the river, under the waterfalls, in a rowing boat, playing racquetball, in a tennis court. In the scriptures are wrote on the basketball floor with a hockey puck that is inscribed, "Follow the cult of Howentology." Yeah.
I have spent a lot of my time listening to Slipknot so I can get into my dark evil mode.
I push my fingers into my eyes.
I can't get them out of my eyes. They're stuck.
Pop them out. Pop them out. Ah. Yeah.
If you're not with us, you're against us, and we will push back into your butthole.
It's my doing.
The one thing that angers me more than anything else, Paul Levesque, is that you have not given us screen time so we can pose for our photo opportunities.
Cinema.
That's been a candle in that lantern for a long time. Is it running low on wax?
Yeah.
Is that apple cinnamon spice?
It smells like Abby the Witch's bunghole. Yeah. We will send a candle to Howdy LFC, and he can let us know after doing a sniff test what hole Abby the Witch stuck it in.
We're gonna start spitting in those milkshakes that we make at Whataburger and putting more QR codes where they do not belong. Just like we put fingers where they do not belong.
Yeah. Howdy LFC, thank you for bringing us back and speaking our name into existence through the names and the letters, but the letter L, which means that the next QR code comes next week on Monday. But Monday is when a show usually happens, and when the show usually happens, the Howdy Wyatt Six are there, which means the Howdy Wyatt Six were there, and they were in the cave, and oh, my brain is just coming everywhere from these riddles. Thank you, Howdy
LFC. What the L
LFC.
stands for.
Yes.
What does the F stand for?
Oh, forsaken us.
What does the C stand for? You will never follow through on properly breaking down and reviewing our nonsense.
Ringside Renaissance, we're here.
I think it happened again. This microphone's got a lot of, looks like bunny fur on it. Evil bunny fur. And it smells like bunghole the bunny's been here.
Jesus. Feels like someone pushed their fingers into my eyes.
Why it sucks, freaks. Listen to Slipknot a lot, because
it's a sad thing, but we're glad. Thanks for the question. We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Next, Sarit Mahanti has a few for us here at SaritMohanty 17. Sarit Mahanti 17.
Okay.
Number one, has Kevin Owens really turned heel, or it's all a setup by Orton? Maybe Orton turns heel on both Owens and Cody at the end.
No, I think Orton has really turned heel, and it's just to give Cody more time and take it away from the bloodline and give them what they need to do to the room to breathe. And I think Orton will kind of turn too, and maybe it'll turn into like a triple threat type of situation. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that it's really Orton and not Owens, because Owens is the one that jumped Cody and then jumped Orton.
Yeah.
I could see him turning heel as well, but I think Owens is really turned. That's where they're going with it. And if you want to believe things you read on the internet, I read that, and it wasn't a credible source at all, but that Owens is coming close to re-signing a deal with WWE. So,
okay.
A lot of people thought this was going to be a feud to kind of write him off WWE, but supposedly some people think he's going to re-sign. So don't take that as gospel. It's no credible source, but
he don't want to join his friends where the best wrestle. Wow.
Nobody does these days. Next one. Whom will you book to win in both champion versus champion matches at Crown Jewel?
Ooh. Okay. So Cody and Gunther, I'm going to go for I want to go for a draw. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can't be. Somebody's got to win the belt, right? So I think, oh, God. I think Gunther should win it somehow.
Yeah, I think Kevin Owens is going to interfere.
Yeah.
And cost Cody.
Right. Because Gunther losing would not be good for Gunther. It would make him not look as strong, especially with that title and all that.
Yeah, I agree.
Gunther one way or another, but not a clean win. Because that would hurt Cody too. Yeah.
I agree. And I think Nia Jax should win the women's one.
Yeah.
Same winners as King and Queen of the Ring are going to win at Crown Jewel because
Yeah.
King and Queen of the Ring was in Saudi Arabia, and so I'll say Gunther and Nia Jax.
Because if Nia loses too, it kind of takes away from her, and then it puts Rhea over, and she's not the champion. Could we get like some type of cash in for the Money in the Bank? Possibly, but I think they'll probably drag that out even a little longer too.
Yeah, till probably Survivor Series. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Punk versus Gunther or Gunther versus Goldberg at Survivor Series.
neither.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
that's the one I think is more likely to happen. Gunther and Goldberg at Survivor Series.
You're
Punk
next.
is gonna fight.
Yeah.
Punk is gonna face Seth Rollins.
Exactly. Yeah, and I feel like if Gunther and Goldberg was going to happen, they would have done it at like Crown Jewel or something.
Yeah, it's interesting who's going to be Gunther's opponent after Crown Jewel because they really don't have any. Maybe Damian Priest.
Yeah, good point. Good point. It could be. I don't think Goldberg's coming back for a match. I think they were just using it as a.
Yeah, I think I was just trying to, because Sammy came out, was just defending Goldberg. I think it was just kind of a moment, just to have a moment.
And using them because they had Bret Hart and stuff before that. You don't see Bret Hart coming back for a match, obviously. So, yeah.
Yeah. Stranger things have happened, but I don't foresee either of them happening. What do you think's going to happen? Which match would you rather have, Sarit and Sarit? I'm sorry, I'm butchering
you know
your name.
what? You know who? If they're going to do it and he's really coming back, Brock Lesnar.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I could see that.
Yeah. But, and all due respect, we trash Goldberg from time to time here and there. But to not take away from him and respect to him, I don't want him to come back anymore and wrestle anymore. Just because it would kind of take away from his legacy. And he's kind of got to that age now, like he doesn't need to have any more botches or anything like that. Just remember him going out, how he went out, and leave it at that.
Yeah, I can respect that. Finally, when are we expecting Jacob Fatu to turn on Solo and kick him out of the new bloodline?
That's a far ways away if that's what's going to happen. Not till like fucking WrestleMania or some shit. By WrestleMania, or maybe by WrestleMania, the whole bloodline will implode. Like depending on if they do Rock and Roman, and then who gets control of it, and they may not. They may all come together at the end after that's done with, or something, or all splinter off, or yeah.
Yeah, because I could see where he's going with this one, because to fully have the original bloodline back together, you have to have Solo in there,
right?
But I just don't think that's what's going to happen. I think.
Yeah, but the way that Solo is kind of ordering Jacob Fatu around, it does seem like they could go in that direction too at some point, with Jacob Fatu being tired of it. Jacob Fatu will beat the shit out of Solo too. Like,
oh, that's an interesting one. I didn't ever think of that dynamic of it. Probably it'll be further down the line after War Games. Moving forward, maybe we just don't see the original bloodline reuniting until we get Rock and Roman, and then have all of them kind of standing in Roman's corner.
And they'll throw a curveball, and then at WrestleMania, we'll also somehow the sides will splinter. Maybe Jacob will take Roman's side, and Solo will be on the Rock side, and we'll get not only Roman versus the Rock, but Solo versus Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania.
A lot of different ways they can go with this, huh?
Yeah.
Thanks for your questions. Let us know what you think of all these. The last questions, we have 2 questions from the real one at _city, the real one. And shout out to Real One. He's always shown us support. The first one is, which matches, in your opinion, should main event WrestleMania for both nights?
Well, there's 2 world titles from what we've heard, that we are also going to have Rock versus Roman.
Rock versus Roman's got a main event one of them.
Right. Would you have Rock versus Roman main event night 2?
Unless you put the undisputed title on Roman on Rock.
Okay, yeah. If you're gonna put the title on them, then yeah, for sure that goes last. Which, I mean, I guess Rock could somehow take it from Cody, maybe Netflix or SummerSlam, or not SummerSlam. That'd be after that. Netflix maybe. That'd be a big thing.
Royal Rumble maybe.
Royal Rumble, yeah. And then I'd do the other main event would be Punk winning the Royal Rumble against whoever has the title at that time. Maybe Seth can end up taking the title from Gunther, or maybe John Cena could end up taking the title from Gunther, or vice versa in one way like that, and have Punk in the main event of night 1.
Yeah, because if we're gonna fantasy book this, I would say Roman Rock undisputed title night 2, and then I would say, but what would Cody do at that point?
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess we could have Cody and Orton. Doesn't have to have the title around it.
Yeah.
But Orton's saying that he wants to come for that title. But we'll just you know what? I'm not going to think of all the outside things. I'm just going to say Roman Rock for the undisputed title night 2. And night 1, if I could fantasy book it and say what I want to see, I would love to see Punk versus Cena in a main event night 1 because of the animosity that Punk had towards Cena of keep taking the main event from him
right
at WrestleMania. And Punk has never gotten a main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And just being a mark for CM Punk, I would really like to see him have that before he retires.
And win a Royal Rumble. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Have Cena win the World Heavyweight title from Gunther, have Punk win the Royal Rumble, and then that's the storyline right there. You've always taken a main event from me, and now I'm going to take the main event from you at WrestleMania and beat you for that title.
Yeah, and fans can go either way on that too. Like,
ooh, that'd be a hot crowd for that one.
Yeah.
And finally, who's a wrestler that you feel has a lot of potential and has earned a push but hasn't gotten a lot of time under the spotlight? I feel like everybody at some point gets their shine on TV. Even if they've went for the title and lost, they've kind of gotten some spotlight. I'm going to think outside the box a little bit on this one, and I'm going to go women's. I'm going to say Lyra Valkyria, I think, needs a push. Like I said, she got to the Queen of the Ring and then lost, and then she's kind of been lost in the mix after that. And on SmackDown, I'd have to say Mi Chin. I'd like to see Mi Chin get a push.
Okay, yeah. I'll go with Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown. Yeah. And Raw.
Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, I'll go Uncle Howdy. Yeah. Uncle Howdy. Uncle fucking Howdy. Yeah.
I'm just fucking with you. Man.
CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk. R-Truth, baby. Come on. R-Truth.
R-Truth? Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, R-Truth. R-Truth.
Carlito, maybe.
Yeah. And then like NXT, I'll go with like Cora Jade. I think Roxanne Perez should move up.
Javon Evans, but he's gotten a kind of a push.
Yeah, he's gotten a push. Yeah, they've all kind of gotten their pushes when they need them. You know, Soul Rucka is good.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting ones. You know what? I'm going to think again outside the box with WWE and say Karrion Kross needs to get a push.
Okay,
he needs to draw. He's so good telling stories and he's good in the ring, but I don't think he's ever really kind of pieced it all together since he's went to the main roster. So Karrion Kross will be my men's pick.
Yeah, and I don't like the whole group with him, and I don't think he needs his lady with him either. I think he'd be better just by himself, doing his own thing. Switch it up a little bit, yeah. That's the last question?
Yes, it is. So let us know what you think in the comments of who you think is a really solid wrestler performer, but just hasn't gotten the push they deserved, and they should.
Yeah, definitely. And then going to NXT. NXT was pretty good this week. Stephanie Vacora had her debut.
Yes.
Had a good match and was interrupted at the end by Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, which have teamed up. The bad girls have teamed up to take sides, and they will take on Julia Gulia and Stephanie Vacora in a tag team match coming up. And then they had the triple threat match between Javon Edwards, Wes Lee, and Ethan Page for the number one contender shot. And Ethan Page egoed himself into that win again also. Yeah. And then Tony D'Angelo is also being challenged again by Oba Femi for that North American title. So
we'll see where they go. Show maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's at Halloween Havoc. And Oba Femi like spun the wheel, and it's a tables, ladders, and scares match. Yeah. whatever that means. They're gonna have zombies running around doing crazy stuff.
There we go. Here we
Oh
go.
Lord, yeah. But yeah, NXT is doing good too. I'm excited. I'm watching that. It's a lot of fun seeing all them people come up, and Shawn Michaels doing his thing too, and everybody, Trick Willie, all that.
Really good, man. It's great to see so much different avenues for pro wrestlers to go and kind of come up and get a name for themselves and stuff, and making a name in the business that we love. So let us know what you think in the comments, what you think is the best thing from this week.
Yeah.
Stay in touch with us on all the social medias.
Definitely. Yeah. And we'll be back next week for our WWE episode. We'll cover SmackDown. We'll cover Raw and some NXT. NXT too, yeah. So we're going to have a jam-packed show next week. So stay tuned. We'll have our other shows out. We'll be talking AEW. We'll be talking other wrestling stuff. Give us some questions in the comments, like Jesse said, and we'll answer them. But to take it from there, yeah.
It's a lot of fun. We run out of stuff to talk about, so you guys give us stuff to talk about. It's pretty
yeah. Shout out to everybody there showing support. We appreciate it.
Always check out some great podcasts like Hitting the Turnbuckle.
Yeah.
The AIW podcast, the Kick Ash podcast. Shout out to Ashley. She's doing her thing.
Yeah.
Just keep rocking and supporting everybody out in the IWC.
Yeah. Everybody out there, thanks for the support. Once again, that's pretty deadly Jesse. And I'm Andrew Kombat Jones. You've been listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast. Peace.